Okay, I think we're live. All right, you guys, we're live. Thank you, Hawatha, for coming. We're gonna give people a few minutes to get in. We're about 6 minutes late, but that's okay. I'm sorry, y'all. We here. We're here. We are talking about everything that went on. Not everything because it's too much, but a lot of what went on in 2025. So as you guys come in, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're gonna Hawatha. We'll give them just a few minutes to get in here. It takes a little bit for YouTube to let people know we're in. So I'm gonna go off camera till we get a few more people in.
All right, cool.
Hello, everybody. Let me see about my chat. Hey, y'all, come on in. Let me see my chat. How are you still here? I don't see her. Hi, if you can hear me, come back in. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Come on in. Let's talk about it. We're going to give people a few more minutes to get in. Hey, Harlem. Hey. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. Can you hear me okay? Everything okay on your end? Of course, we're giving people, a few minutes to get the notification to know we are live. Hiawatha went somewhere. Maybe she'll get back on here. Hello, hello, hello. As you come in, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. I don't know where she went. Also, you can become a member to the channel. Where'd she go? Whoops. Harlem, can you hear me okay? Everything sound good on your end? I did send you the link in case somebody wanted to come up and I could not, and I wouldn't be able to give them the link. So I emailed it to you. What is she doing? Hiawatha, what are you doing? Okay. You can see Hiawatha? Yeah, I don't. There she goes. She's back. I don't know what happened, but she's back. You there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I went out to like post and share, and I thought it was I didn't know it was gonna kick me completely out.
Oh, okay. That's okay. We're still giving them giving them a few more minutes.
Okay.
Hiawatha, how was your Christmas?
Quiet, peaceful.
Love quiet and peaceful.
Right?
Phases, did you ever do you with public announcements? I did. You didn't see it? Yeah, we got it done. Oh, but we did it on Facebook Live. Ooh, that was a long time ago. I'll see if I can find it and load it. I did.
Where Harlem at? Why she ain't on the stage?
Cause you can only have one person at a time on here. Hey,
Oh,
hey, Brian Wilson. Hey, Brian Wilson, welcome. Welcome to the live. Welcome everybody. You guys hit the like as you come in. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Yes, I saw that Harlem like yesterday. But I did do it. I'm gonna find it and load it. I think I have it recorded somewhere, but it's definitely on Facebook. I'll find it. Welcome in new people. Thank y'all for stopping by. We need you to hit the like if you would on your way in or out. It keeps us in the algorithm. We have Hiawatha from Houston with us tonight, and we're going to rewind 2025 all the way back to January and bring us back up to date on things that have been happening in the entertainment world. Or just in this nation, right? There's a lot that went on in 2025 that we're going to talk about as we get prepared for 2026. We have a lot of trials coming up. Lawsuit, lawsuit comes up. There's some good things coming up as the original um how I lose my train of thought like that. The original public announcement is going to be having a documentary. It's going to be interesting, y'all. You would want to see that. The interview is really good too. I'll try to post that and find it. But we did have that interview to take place. Fact is that the only thing that matters to me is that I am going back home. Okay. Oh, good. All right, where is it going to be at, Harlem? I'm excited. You can like kind of take some notes for us. So, you guys, we have 6 people watching so far. We only have like 2 likes. We need 6 likes. And thank you for the hearts. Thank you for being here. We're gonna get started Atlanta in January. Ooh, you better go. Are you gonna go? That's gonna be nice. Madam, you are so beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. All right, so listen, we can get started on a couple of things. And as we start, people will come in for sure. Um, doc, Doctor, hmm, Doctor Balls. I heard that. Um, so you guys, as y'all heard today, what we hear that allegedly Justin Combs has been served um a warrant. I mean, well, not with a warrant, not with a warrant. Justin Justin Combs has allegedly been served with a law for gang R word, a young lady. And we'll get to talk about that too. So, but let's go all the way and rewind back to January. And I'm sure people will come in. We can talk. It always happens. So, not too worried about that, especially on this app. It is Sunday though. I'm like, work tomorrow. So how, Watha, did you do your homework and get your stuff together for the year 2025?
Yeah, I got a few topics.
Okay. Well, we're gonna start with January. Let me see. I went all the way back, all the way to date. Do you have anything for January?
Oh, I didn't do mine
Oh, you didn't?
by a month,
Okay.
but
Well,
I can. get that right quick.
Oh,
And
you're okay. We can do it however you did it. But I'll start if that's okay. So we know that Hiawatha's president took office in
first of all, don't put that on me.
he took office January the 20th, I believe, for the second time around. That is when makes me think more to the Christmas visit. Um, and oh, we're gonna talk about hold that thought, Harlem, because we're gonna talk about it because they said they heard conversation, possibly, right? So he and I was wondering where was he at in the pictures with the brothers and sisters, right? Lot to talk about. But anyway, back to Hiawatha's homie. So he took off
Don't look. I don't want these people to be thinking that I am cool with this dude. Like
for Joe,
I am the farthest thing
literally.
from this man. I no.
Um, but anyway, also there was the that okay, so he took office on the 20th and then he pardoned several people from the people that attacked the White House. They were all pardoned once he stepped into office, which I think is just crazy, but everything he does to me is crazy. When he did step into office, he literally Harlem was side eyeing you, how Walter like that was really your friend. uh,
No, Harlem.
and when he came into office, like immediately things just started happening crazy. He started firing people left and right for no reason. They weren't given reasons. They were taking like the professionals say, for example, the air traffic controllers were being fired. The people that had been there for years that knew the ins and the outs of the business. So that happened on January the 20th, and also January Drake filed his federal defamation lawsuit against UMG and Spotify for Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us." What you got right now?
Wasn't that been dismissed though?
Oh, it's later on in the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and we know why he fired him. He fired people that didn't support him, people that spoke out against him, people that just didn't want him to be the president, and they didn't make that. They didn't hide that.
Right.
So even though it's technically, they probably gave them a legal HR type reason, but that's the type of person this man is. He gets rid of all his detractors, which unfortunately for us, he's still in office,
Yes.
and
And
he's probably going to do his 4 years.
he tried to he tried to take Comey down, and what's the black lady's name?
Is it Fanny?
No, the other lady. Well, I can't think of her name, but they were trying the one that said that she was getting that she got a house in her name and her niece was there and she did it all the wrong way. Either way, it was dismissed with prejudice. So I mean, they could go back and redo it and bring it back up, but so far it hasn't been redone. And so James Comey and the young lady that he was trying to bring charges against, it had been dismissed by a judge. So, I mean, it just started being crazy right out the gate in January with him coming into office. And then you have him giving pardons to the people that were attacked. They attacked the White House, right? Like, how did you get
Yeah.
to do that? And then you go to jail. So some of them were sentenced, some of them was waiting to be sentenced, and some of them were like already in prison or whatever and had been released immediately. So
Because they had some dirt on him. That's the only reason why he got rid of. I mean, he pardoned him because they had some dirt on him.
yeah, he's the one that set it up, and they could tell that they would be the ones that be able to tell exactly why they were able to get in and how they attacked the White House. So
Yeah.
yeah. So then we move into February, and you before we go to February, go ahead and give us one of your first topic.
Um, there was a man in Louisiana in January. that they haven't really talked about. Like, there's been no reason as to real reason why he did it. But a man, he killed 14 people. He rammed his truck into, the attack on Bourbon Street, right? And they said the only thing they found on him was the Islamic State flag, but he was also shot before anybody. And it's just like that story just went away.
Yeah.
Like,
Where was that, in Louisiana?
Yeah, it was in New Orleans.
Oh, okay, did not know that.
Yeah, on January 1st. And he was a black Muslim. And allegedly he rammed, well, no, allegedly he did. He rammed his pickup truck into a crowd on Bourbon Street.
Wait a minute. I did hear about that. That's right. That sure is right. That did happen. Yeah.
Because he was from Houston. That's the crazy thing. Now,
Yeah.
I've been in Houston all my life. And I can't speak for Louisiana folks, but my people, Louisiana, and that just does not sound like our MO. It just does. It's certain things. Now, if you say somebody broke into a chicken hut and ate up all the chicken, okay, yeah, that's either us or a trash panda. But driving into a bunch of people on Bourbon Street, and he wasn't drunk. Now, I can get if he's a drunk driver, right?
Right.
I can believe that. But he just drove into these people because he was a Muslim. It's not sitting well with me.
I mean, that's what they said, and he pulled it off. Unfortunately, I remember that story. Yes, I remember it vividly.
Yeah. So, but that's it, and that was the end of it. Like, okay,
yeah,
he was shot. It's over.
You
Next day.
About it. Heard nothing else about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then we move into February. For me, I know Hiawatha didn't do like by the month, but for February 2025, when we go back, we see that actor Gene Hackman and his wife was found unalived in their home, and it was like a mystery. And they first thought that also their dog was unalived as well, but I don't think the dog was. But they were both unalived in their home mysteriously, just gone.
Yeah.
I still don't get the full understanding or the full story of what happened. Like, did we ever find out what happened to him and his wife? But I remember them passing away, and it was. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's actually on my list because it's interesting. Now, his net worth was $80 million, right? And he was 91 years, I think 81 or 91 years old. He hadn't been in the public scene for some time now, and his wife was in her 50s. Okay, so let's start off. The way his estate was set up was, well, he died from cardiovascular and Alzheimer's. That was his cause of death that they put down. His wife's cause of death was a rare virus that you get from that humans rarely get. It's usually, but you do get it from rodents and urine droppings of rodents.
Here's my
that was her cause of death.
Okay.
Now, mind you, and it was 3 dogs, and they all were in what people put those dogs in. Yeah, they was in the house, but they were locked up because we know. And the dogs died of dehydration and starvation. So that whole week they didn't eat. That's why they died. Which, if we know that if had they been running around, they would have consumed their bodies. But they were like,
if they were, hadn't eaten. Hey, Jojo the Ryan. Hello, everybody that's in the chat. As you come in, will you please hit the like if you're not subscribed to the channel? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like. It keeps us in the algorithm, you guys. We are headed to 10K. We are excited about that. So here's my problem, Houston. We have a problem, Miss Hiawatha, with that story. Here's my problem with it, right? I understand that he had Alzheimer's, however you say it. And I understand she might have had a rare disease, but isn't it really fishy how they unalived at the same time?
And see, that's what I'm getting to. Now,
tell me more. Tell me more.
The way his estate is set up, like I said, he had a net worth between 60 and 80 million, allegedly.
Right.
the way the state was set. Now he has, I think, 3 children, 3 or 4 children. They're all grown. They're all adults. Obviously, they're in their 60s because he was in his 80s. So they're like, 60s, 70s, whatever. Now, the way his will was set up was that when he died, everything he owned was being left to the wife, which is the second wife or the young wife, right? Because she was in her 50s,
Right.
going in her 60s. Everything was left to her. In the case of his death, his kids got nothing, ex-wife, nobody got nothing except her. Now, if she dies,
Her kids.
no, here's the thing. I don't think
Oh,
she had any kids. They
oh,
didn't have any kids.
okay.
So so if he dies and she's the lone survivor, well, obviously she'd be the lone survivor.
Right.
Everything goes to her. If he dies first.
Right.
No, if she dies, and so if she dies after him, everything that he left her, she was giving it to charity. She was not leaving anything to anybody else. She was leaving everything to charity, which means his adult kids would get nothing.
Oh wow.
So that's why when they found both their bodies at the same time, but they didn't die at the same time. And that was the crucial point. They had to find out who died first. Because whoever died first, that's who decides who controls the estate. So they discovered that she had died 1 week prior to him dying.
Oh.
So she was already been, whatever virus, whatever she caught, she was gone. They say because he was in late stages of Alzheimer's, he didn't even realize that she was gone.
Right.
So he just sat there for the week and then he passed.
Cause see, no one's taking. Okay, this is making sense. So if she passed
So
first, nobody's taking care of him to, to whatever his like his meds. He probably didn't know how to take his medications
yeah,
in the house. But I'm thinking like, does nobody come over? Like nobody calls and checks in on them. Like it still had questions, but now I mean I'm seeing it a little bit in
yeah,
that he passed. Um, so possibly once she passed, he's not seeing her. He don't know. No one's helping him. No one's taking care of him. So then he succumbs to his diagnoses or whatever. So I get.
exactly.
So yeah, okay.
So I think and I think they were estranged. So, and it could have been one of those situations that when they got married, she was young. I don't know how long. I can't remember how long they were married. So I just know that she was in her 50s when they passed. But I think they were married over 20 years. So she could have been in her 40s, and he could have been however old he was when they got married. And it could have been she could have been a reason because of the marriage dissolution. I don't know any of that part, but from what I understand, was he was estranged from his adult kids, which is why he left everything to her in
Uh,
the case that he go first. Now, and if she went
okay.
now, so because she went first, his estate, and he went second, his estate was it was him. So now the kids get to split the estate because the one person that he left everything in his will to is no longer alive.
That's what I was.
So it goes to the next of kin.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. So let me stop for just a minute and just welcome everybody. Hey, beautiful me. Hey, APZ. Thank y'all for being here. Jojo the Ryan, Harlem, of course. Like everybody, thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button. Don't forget. Happy holidays. I hope that you celebrated Christmas. Had a great Christmas, and here we come upon the new year again. And I hope that your wishes, whatever that is for 2026, comes true, and it's a better year for you, better than this year. All right, so yeah, Hiawatha, I was like kind of side eyeing it at first, but that's because I didn't have like the details of it, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it still sounds shady to me because how in the world that she gets the one disease that is so rare to humans?
yeah,
You know what I mean? It has to me the making of a perfect crime.
yeah.
It just does,
But
and it's
the,
it's allegedly. I don't know. I don't want nobody coming after me, but I'm just saying.
yeah, but
I
then
don't.
there's nothing else
You'll have.
after that, right? You hear nothing else.
Yeah, like Chris Rock said. I don't get why you did it, but I understand. So, hey,
Yeah. So also in February, so that was in February. Then also in February 7th, Grammy Awards happening. And as you guys know, the Super Bowl had already happened. Kendrick Lamar killed it. And so at the Grammy Awards, he just cleaned house, cleaned house. So that was February the 2nd, February 18th, ASAP his trial began on February the 18th. We all know how that was, and what the outcome was for that. I think that's all I have for February. What about you?
well, that was my big one.
What's your next topic?
I
Are
mean,
you
if you want to just float around, because so much happened.
okay?
It's just,
We'll just keep going. Again, y'all, thank y'all for being here. Welcome. Any new people, welcome in. Anybody that's already AB Productions came back. What? Glad to see you back here. Hope you had a good holiday. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, you guys, you got to hit the like button because it keeps us in the algorithm. It's a free way to support the channel, and we appreciate it, right? So we are talking about we are rewinding 2025. We're starting from January all the way up to December. A lot has happened. A lot has taken place. Angie Stone passed away on March the 1st, and there was a lot of controversy around her passing. And if, like, since she was the only one that passed away, there's so many different scenarios of how that happened. But ultimately, she passed away and succumbed to because of a car wreck. Um, and it was a tragedy. I get it happened, but like I want the real story to happen. But you have a lot of people saying a lot of different things about that car wreck with Angie Stone. But it did hurt the community, the entertainment industry. It hurt the industry that such a vibrant woman as she was, and she was the sweetest woman that I could tell, right?
Mhm.
And she was coming for her. She was going to try to get her
royalties,
not royalties, her
mountains.
masters. Trying to get her masters. She was it was too many. Harlem says it was too many stories about Angie. I still don't really know what happened. That's on that. Like I don't know, but we hear that she was trying to. She was going to set out to get her masters. And I mean, but you hear a lot of stuff like the car flipped over and she was trying to get out. She was still alive in the van and she was trying to get out, and then another car hit her. Like it was just so many different stories. Unfortunately, but again, I'm with you, Harlem. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. And we really don't have anything set in stone. And then, not to mention, not in March, but then her baby daddy passed away.
Mhm.
And so their son is coming out and talking about it and doing some things. So anyway, that was a sad occasion for the community to hear about Angie Stone's passing. And
Yeah,
then go ahead.
and D'Angelo.
D'Angelo is
I
her.
think, yeah, I think it's scary, um, to an extent in the music industry where people that have built this following, built this, their legacy, built their music, and now they're just trying to go back and get what is owed to them. Not, they're not asking for something that they didn't earn, that they didn't work for, and now they want what's owed to them and what they rightfully own.
Yep.
And then they, an accident happens, this weird illness that nobody knew anything about, and um now look what's happened. I know that sounds like a big conspiracy theorist, but at some point you got to take off the conspiracy and just kind of like, wait a minute,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Hello,
know.
Finlay Casson Braithwaite. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but welcome. Welcome in. You guys hit the like button. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, and we hear that, right? Angie was talking a lot about, Harlem says Angie was talking a lot about the industry. Yes, she would come live and she had started talking a lot more than you would hear from her about it. And I think that, like, I don't know that I can say because she started talking about it a lot that somebody caused an accident to happen. she ultimately was the only one that passed away. You also have people that were in that accident with her that says what people are saying is not true. Like that did not happen. This is what happened. So we really just got a lot of different stories, and we like, what the heck happened to our girl? What happened to
I
what?
mean, just
What I can, what I so with what I have, not being there, not we don't know is that it was a wreck, and she succumbed to the wreck.
yeah.
What were your thoughts?
No, I just feel like, not to like jump ahead, but I think that Diddy documentary just kind of, it showed a lot of stuff about Diddy, but it also, I think it opened up a weird door to the inside of the industry, like how far people are willing to go
Yeah.
for
So
money and power. So
yeah, that's gonna be really good conversation. So you're right. I agree with you. I couldn't agree more. People are coming out talking about it. So, and then also in on March the 17th, iHeartRadio Music Awards happened. And again, who was cleaning house? Kendrick Lamar. He got the hip hop song of the year on March 2017. So people was loving Kendrick Lamar at the time. I like Kendrick Lamar. I wasn't like always a big fan of his, but I do like some of his music, right?
yeah, I always knew, like, I was like, I like everything. He pretty much, I've never met him. The time I was supposed to meet him, it didn't work out, but I've always been a fan of his music because he's like Tupac. I mean, people, if you get Tupac, you get Kendrick Lamar.
Did you put him and Tupac in the same category?
Oh, most definitely.
Like on the
Most
level?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Cuz I mean, both music wise, I don't know how much street cred Kendrick has, but if you think about,
Yeah, let's talk about the talent, right?
yeah, like using the music to move the people. That's why I'm like, please protect Kendrick at all costs. Um, but he has that. He has a voice. I mean, look at how one song that even was funny because I heard it the first time. I was like, oh, this is great, but this ain't the Kendrick that I know, right? But then you hear it 392,000 times. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, I still like as we're talking, I'm hearing the beat in my head. So it's just one song. I mean, if we want to just let's go beyond the beef, right? Like, remember back in the day, hip hop artists would beef. One's come out one, and then you had the whole ether,
Yeah,
song or whatever. You, I mean, but even that song did not reach the level that this song, who was written written about another artist, the levels and the depths that it reached.
yeah. So I have to be honest. I didn't follow Kendrick like that, but once he performed at the Super Bowl, I was like, oh, okay, go look, Kendrick. So I really did enjoy his performance. And then I'm not against his music. Like I like his music, just wasn't like a diehard fan like that. Oh,
Uh, I can see that when he first, I was like, okay, yeah, and I think one of his biggest inspirations is Tupac, and you can see it, like you really can see it in his
oh, from
music. And
yeah, so they may he may have that connection. But anyway, yeah, so he was cleaning house the first quarter of 2025. It was all about Kendrick Lamar. And then also on the 24th of March, NBA YoungBoy was released from prison. We know all about that. So that took place on March the 24th. Um, let's move on to April. April 2024 is when Celeste came up missing. I think that's and
Celeste, who's Celeste?
David and Celeste, where she was found in the trunk in Los Angeles. So David was he was actually a personality on TikTok, and he became huge, had millions of followers, and then he was a singer, and he started going out on tour. He was allegedly dating a 14-year-old girl, and she came up missing. She first came up missing in April of 2024. And eventually found that she was in a they found her in an abandoned Tesla that belonged to David the singer. Um, car was really smelly, and when they opened it up, she was there, and she was dis member. Her body parts were dismembered. And so this is still an ongoing investigation. They have not arrested anyone, but as the information we're getting is that as we get closer, I mean, as we continue to get information, we're hearing that there is possible there is going to be possible arrest in this. I'm just not sure why David is not a suspect. I mean, they're looking at him as a suspect, right? But they don't have their allegedly enough to arrest anyone at this time, but they're getting closer. So
Okay.
um, she was 14 years old and she had allegedly run away from home a couple of times. Her parents knew that she was dating somebody named David and had never met him or anything like that. She came back home, then she ran away again, and the last time anybody saw her was April 2024. So just FYI, still under investigation. They're still doing what they have to do out there in LA, I guess, to see if they can get an arrest. The grand jury has convened. There are people speaking in uh front of the grand jury right now, and so um I just want justice for Celeste. I think she was a little girl,
Yeah.
her, and we just justice for her. Like, right, somebody has to be accountable for this. We heard that she was frozen, her body was frozen. Then they went and put her in the trunk, and then all kinds of stuff. And her torso was still in place, but other body parts were just like it's horrible, horrible for a 14-year-old that could not even protect her own self, right? From that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're hoping for justice for Celeste.
Yeah, I remember that story. And you're right, definitely justice for her. I'm just a little, I don't know, I'm a little apprehensive because they found her body in a Tesla. And anybody who has a Tesla or know anybody has a Tesla, Teslas are nothing but automobile snitches. Like you can't do nothing in a Tesla.
Not automobile snitches, but you're right because they have cameras, even when it's parked. We
Exactly. So I'm like, how was somebody able to get a full body into the trunk of a Tesla and Tesla not calling 911 on its own self? Like that's how Teslas are set up. Now, if they just had a beat up Cutlass, I'd have been more convinced. But a Tesla, it's some foul play, something going on there. And I don't want to make light of the situation, but I hope that her family gets real answers and what really happened. But that just
Yeah, the latest that I heard, I haven't heard anything after this, was that there was a private investigator, the PI that was hired by the man that owned the home that they in, and he hired a PI. So this PI was able to go into that home that he lived, and they had this incinerator in the home that wasn't open, but it burns up to 1,600 degrees, right? 1,600 degrees.
oh
That's enough to burn a body up, right? But
yes.
it was not opened. Well, in the city limits, it's illegal to have that. And they're like, why didn't LAPD take that for evidence? There was a lot of stuff that this PI found in that home that they didn't tell. And so the latest was that they found that incinerator and wondering why did they have that in the home. Only other reason is to get rid of a
And
alleged
so they found that in Davy's home.
home that he ripped out. It was in there. There was a few things found that the PI that was hired by the homeowner found that the detective LAPD left in there.
Yeah, it's this is bigger than what this
And
is bigger than what we think it is.
this PI is also going, hey Montana, hi. Also, this PI did also testify in front of a grand jury as well. He has a lot of information, but because he's helping LAPD, what he has, he can't say a lot. But he did testify in front of the grand jury. Montana said, "Don't forget 6/23/25. That's my son's birthday. Hawatha was a suspect and arrested for stealing the wine glass off the Black Link logo."
What?
Girl. Montana coming in here with being Montana. That's
I
funny.
don't even drink. What the hell is he talking?
So
I posted a wine glass.
girl, that's just Montana.
Because I post a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to think if I ever posted a wine glass.
Girl, my logo is a wine glass with the ball that dropped in it, and that's what he's talking about. That you stole the wine glass. Montana.
Is
Okay.
he smoking crack?
Let's move Let's move on. On April the 16th, so we know Drake filed the complaint against UMG and Spotify. Well, then it was dropped, but on April the 16th, Drake filed an amended complaint against them, included the halftime performance that Drake did. We know ultimately it was dismissed. So that's another thing that he on the 16th of April he filed an amended. So then we move on to
No,
March.
wait a minute. Look, I swear these light skins, they don't know how to take an L. Like, dude, you lost in more ways than anybody could possibly imagine in a rap battle. Like, you lost on levels that hadn't even been discovered yet and just won't take the L. So this second lawsuit is moving forward, correct, or is not?
Uh, Drake's.
Yeah, the second one he filed because the other one got dismissed.
It's been ultimately dismissed.
And allegedly, I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, I mean, it's 50 Cent's brand, and or it could have just been AI that I saw that Kendrick and 50 were hooking up to do a documentary on Drake.
Oh,
Because, there is allegedly some minor activities in his past. Now I don't know if it's true or not, but like I said, that's why I can only say allegedly.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard that yet. But we got our ears to the street. We gonna be checking it out, but I have not heard that yet. And so then we move on to May, the date we all have been waiting on to happen. On May the 12th, Sean Combs' trial began. We have been anticipating that trial to begin, and that is the trial of the year of 2025, I think, is the Sean Combs trial. It began. Um, also, also, and so we know that there was a lot of moving parts, but on this May 12th, on that day, we were like waiting because we knew the prosecution had a slam dunk. We knew that they had all of the evidence that they needed. We just knew that they had witnesses, pertinent witnesses that could help them get this guy. We just knew the RICO was going to stick because the feds do not come for you because they never lose. They got a 90% winning rate, all those things, right? So we were anticipating that date only to find that the prosecution was dropping the ball a little bit. But I'm going to say this again: the judge was fair. People want to say he was biased towards biased to kind of taking the prosecution side, but I think he was fair. All those things happened during this trial, and it continues to still be a topic of discussion even after this man has been sentenced and is in prison. We still are talking about Sean Diddy Combs, and that is because there continues to be people coming out against him. There are going to be more, allegedly there's going to be more lawsuits. We just found out about one that he was named in with his son that we're going to talk about a little later in the live. So March the 12th was the big date for people that for YouTubers for sure, for the news, big news outlets. I mean, everybody was waiting on March the 12th to come, and it came on March 12th. His children, his family showed up every single day. We kind of discussed like why is his young girls in there listening to the things they were listening to, but that's their family. They can do what they want to do because they were 18. And then anything you want to say on that?
Well, the saga continues.
I,
I just hate that they didn't let cameras in. Like they let cameras in during OJ. They could have let cameras in
but
during that.
OJ wasn't well. I don't know because that wasn't a. They don't let cameras in federal court. So
Well, I hope they move it to a regular court so we can see them in
I
court.
wanted them to do so we could see everything and not have to hear about like his movements and stuff like that. Of course, people was keeping us posted. We shout out to all of them that kept us posted so that we could report on that the way that we did. And so it was good. It was good time to be a content creator at that moment, right? Um,
Mm.
yeah. So anyway, the saga continues. We continue to be talking about Diddy and his kids and his life and his time in prison and if he's gonna get a pardon and if he's appealed and they need to release him immediately because the judge was playing. He should have might as well been the 13th juror because the judge did all that stuff. All right. The saga continues. So then also on March the 26th, the American Music Awards happened and Eminem won favorite male hip hop artist and favorite hip hop album of the year for the death of Slim Shady. Listen, when Eminem first came out, I liked him. I liked his swag. I liked everything about him. I loved his music. But people would beg to differ that he should not have probably being the one to win favorite male hip hop artist and hip hop album. But my opinion, he been through the down. He been getting down through there through the trenches too, just like the rest. So I mean, that was their choice. He won it fair and square, I guess we would say.
But Diddy,
There was controversy around that too.
I mean, who was he against?
I can't remember who was in the category. It just right. It depends. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, if it was Kendrick Lamar, then hell no, he shouldn't have won.
Okay, let's see.
And I say that for two reasons. One, I didn't even know he had a new album out. And I mean, I like him, but not enough to like be like go to the store and buy his music, but enough to know that if he has a new song out or a new album, I haven't heard any of his music on the radio. I haven't heard or his new music on the radio, and I mean, I don't listen to the radio a lot, but I do listen to it. You still would something would come across. I didn't even know he had a new album out.
Yeah.
So for him to win an award like that, and I mean, what did it do stream wise? I mean, the one thing I will say that Eminem is so private on this level, like of what his life is now, that
Listen,
when he does do something, it's amazing. But
yeah. So listen, at the recent May 2025 American Music Awards, Eminem won favorite male hip hop artist, beating the major contenders like Kendrick Lamar,
yeah,
Drake,
no,
Future, and Tyler the Creator, taking home 2 awards in total, including the album of death, the death of Slim Shady. And it says Kendrick Lamar, a major rival, widely expected to win, making Eminem's victory a significant surprise. Right? That's why I said there was kind of some controversy around that.
yeah, definitely, because that
Drake,
was a Grammy award. That was we need something to stop Kendrick because nobody else could have beat Kendrick on that list.
yeah, Kendrick should have won that. And then it says Drake, another top hip hop artist nominated in the same category. Also, the Future was also in contention for male hip hop artist. Tyler, the
Future keep making music.
expected artist, nominated alongside of them. And it says he wins. Eminem wins. He won over Lamar, Drake, Future, and Tyler, and the Creator.
Nah, not that kid, not Drake. I mean, not against Kendrick.
Yeah,
Oh my God, I can't believe I said Drake. No, not against Kendrick. He shouldn't have won against Kendrick. If Kendrick had been there, then yeah.
I think Kendrick probably should have won. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because like I said, I didn't even know Eminem had a new album out, and which is funny because the way if he takes a poop on the street, people post about that. They talk about that. I haven't heard anybody talking about. I mean, did the blogs like talk about it? Like anybody, you'd hear the song on TikTok. No, I haven't heard. I didn't like I said. I'm like completely shocked right now.
I like Eminem, but I didn't follow him like that. And no, I didn't hear anything about I didn't hear about the death of Slim Shady. But don't take that from me. because I'm not into rap, just all into rap like that. But I am aware, but I didn't hear about that until the awards, if I'm being honest.
And that's crazy. I mean, like I said, that's crazy. They played, Kendrick 330,000 times a day. So when did I guess so that begs the other question: when exactly did they play his song? Because they played between between Kendrick songs.
Yeah. You also have to look at like how do they nominate? I mean, how do they pick those categories? Like, how are they nominated to be in the category, and then how do they ultimately choose? Right? Is it not the community that chooses, like the people that choose it, or is it like the academy that chooses? So it depends. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes they can buy those awards. So
Yeah. So here's another one in June. So June 20, we're halfway through the year. So 2025. Here is the deal. We were waiting and anticipating the release of a Lil Wayne album, and we got it. But here's the controversy. People didn't like it. And Lil Wayne has been considered the best rapper of all times, right? But people didn't like his album and they were saying it out loud, right? Lil Wayne was sitting back in the cut, but I mean, it did okay, it did good. But when it initially came out, like people didn't like that. But he finally did release on June 6th. He released his album, and we were just waiting to hear from Lil Wayne because, if I'm being honest, I love me some Lil Wayne. And I loved his music, I always have. Just hadn't heard from him in a while. And when he released, we was thinking it was going to just be through the roof, and it didn't really. People liked it. Did they love it? I don't know. His
I
his, his hardcore fans absolutely, absolutely loved it.
I'm getting old because I did not know he had an album out too.
See,
Maybe just me. It has to be me.
all good.
'Cause I did not know he had an
Yeah,
album out,
when
and
it
I like his music.
yeah, when
Yeah.
it was a lot of controversy. Like even his daughter Reginae clapped back at some people that was talking mess about her daddy. You know how she is about him. Anyway, but it was a lot going on when he released that. So, and then also the BET Awards happened, and Kendrick Lamar was a top contender and won at the BET Awards like crazy.
I mean, that's not saying a lot, but okay.
Yep, I mean it just is what it is. At this time, like it was about Kendrick Lamar. It was all about Kendrick Lamar. Then,
Yeah, but the BET Awards, you show up, you get an award. So it's just like I said, that one ain't.
yeah, well, I mean,
That's not exactly,
oh, he won. That's the point.
yeah.
One, you can
That was a given. Like, don't even show up, dude. They don't mail all those to your house.
right, but you can still say he's on a roll, right? He was still on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in June, Tyler Perry was sued and there was a civil lawsuit that was filed against Tyler Perry by Derek Dixon for SA. Um,
Yeah, I saw it. I'm sorry. I don't know any straight man that allows another straight man to send him selfies of him without his shirt on. I mean, I know Louisiana people, they tend to be very open and loving and hospitable, but I mean, come on, you worth billions of dollars. There has to be some common sense, some boundaries in place. Like you can't,
you
you
would
know.
you would think there are boundaries, but it's Tyler Perry, right? He don't have to have boundaries. I mean, I'm just saying, that's what they believe when they're billionaires. They don't have boundaries, and so. But I think I struggle with the fact that these guys continue to go ahead and work with him and go back and go to his house more than one time. Like I still struggle with that. But at this point, even to today, this lawsuit is still out there. So he hasn't. I don't. I
They've
don't.
added two more people to it.
I don't think that he has settled on this one.
No, I think they added two more people. I thought they added some more people to that
Or
one,
later on,
or is that a separate one?
happened. There was one that just happened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in December. But as far as June, that's when this first lawsuit was a big, huge deal. And Tyler Perry just was kind of sitting on his porch and he released, whatever he said, never directly mentioned anything about the lawsuit, right? But kind of like, God got me. I know my truth or whatever. So anyway,
Yeah, I mean, who goes to somebody's house at 10 o'clock at night for an audition?
hey,
I mean, it's one thing if it says, okay, hey, I want you to audition. Because I mean, there's too many ways now. You could Zoom, you could email, you could text, you could FaceTime. Like, those things didn't exist 20 years ago as far as, casting and film. But there's too many avenues right now. I don't need you to come to my house at 10 o'clock at night to see if you are good to be doorman number 3. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me.
yeah, it happens. And nothing about the industry will make sense. Um, and it happens. And so, and the reason they say they go to do it because their dream is coming true. I'm finally getting my break.
Not
Whatever.
at 10 o'clock at night at this man's house, and you
I'm
show up
there.
and he's the only one there with
He
a glass
gonna
of
be
wine
there.
and some boxes.
He'll be there at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, I don't know, but that's what
He on the porch, he on the couch in a smoker's jacket, swirling a cup of wine. Like, come on.
so anyway, I say that to say that I believe that lawsuit is still standing. And we will get to see what's going to happen. Like I feel like if it here is two things, right? I feel if Tyler really knows that he's not guilty, he did not do those things, he fight it. But I feel
Yeah,
he did it, and you did it, just settle with this man, let him go on. It's
yeah.
just simple. And so
But
since Christian Keys came out and alluded to the fact that it was Tyler Perry, never said it was Tyler Perry, but alluded to him, and we all kind of was putting the pieces together, then it opened the door, right? Just
yeah,
Cassie firing Diddy, and it opens the door for all these other people to come out. Well, it opened the door for people to come out on Tyler Perry. So now here's Derek. Then, of course, we're going to get to the other one that just came out here in December. And I think it's
I think
I got a call.
and that too, like if he settles, then they're gonna assume he's guilty, right? Like if he goes ahead and settles, they're gonna assume he's guilty. But at the same time, if he pays them anything, that also opens up the door for more people to extort. I like with Cardi B when she was going through her case, and with the girl in that situation, she's like, I'm done. She says, you're not going to come for money that I worked hard for, that I built, that I'm up 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not sleeping, I'm missing my kids, and then you decide you want to come and get a free payday. I'm not doing it. I'm not selling nothing out of court. We're going to fight it, and we're going to fight it in court. I mean,
Yeah.
the only people that wins in these situations is the lawyers. Like, nobody wins except the lawyers.
Because at the end of the day, like, and they talked about that. Like, that was my question too. Like, if Tyler Perry, like what I was talked about with Shannon Sharp, like if these people settle, does that automatically make them guilty? So they said a lot of times they like to go ahead and settle because they got so much going on. They don't have time to deal with this. Get
Yeah.
this person so I can move on with my other business that I got going on. But people will automatically, it's just people, right? They're gonna that he's guilty if he pays out, right?
Yeah.
So, but then in another instance, like I said, if you're guilty and you did these things, don't give people the opportunity to bring all this evidence out and dig all into your life. If you know you did it, this man wants some money. Give him
Yeah.
some money. But if you didn't do it, do what you got to do.
Because
Do
I
what you.
mean, and for him, like, cause he was a series regular on the show, right? Like, so he was a series regular, and you have to, like, does Tyler Perry have that kind of power to blacklist somebody, right? Like, no matter how big Tyler Perry is and how famous and how wealthy he is, you know,
Why person
he's
call?
not he's not a friend to a lot of, like, I think he's on the WGA, like he's on a few um union bad lists, right? So if you're on these union bad lists, then you are, the union don't already mess with you, right? And unions are very powerful on in every industry, right? So if the produce, the unions, that's how usually you bad list people, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna talk to this person at this studio or whatever. Like, yeah, they might not be able to ever work at BET, but
Right.
if Netflix gonna take the work, be influenced by something Tyler Perry does or says? Is Hulu, or Disney, you know what I'm saying? Are they going to, if Tyler Perry calls them? So you have to like wonder, where does his power end, and if he has that type of power to blacklist anybody? Because I know the guy that first he was on like a couple of seasons, right? Like he wasn't just some.
But you have to understand the backstory too, because Tyler, he was there at an event and he was serving at an event. Tyler Perry peeked him out and was like, "Hey, I can give you a job, right?" And he was like, "I'm not an actor, okay, I can still give you a job," because he had that look that Tyler Perry likes, right? This is yeah. He called me Whoopi. Like for real, that's a compliment. Thank you. SS play. Call me Whoopi Hiawatha.
Oh,
So I don't even know who it is. But anyway, welcome to the channel. Anyway, so yeah, I mean it's just a lot. It's a lot behind that. When you're that powerful, you're a billionaire, you're a black man, you all these things. Like, I don't know, it's hard. So you gotta just rely on your legal team to guide you, right?
mhm.
um and what's the right way. I mean, are you, and then you got to have to tell your legal team the truth. Like, did you do it or did you not do it? Are you grabbing people's private or not? Like, what are we doing? What are we saying here,
Oh, the
right?
legal team already knows. Like they know that, like that type of legal team on that level, they know whether their client is innocent or guilty before it even comes out.
Yeah,
Their
just like,
job is to defend. That's why they put them on retainer. That's why they hire 'em. The first time they mess up, the first person they call is their attorney. If he did do that, I guarantee you, the first person he called was his attorney. Hey,
yeah.
this went down, whatever, whatever. And so
Well, that's
the attorney's already preparing. That's if you have a good attorney and you have a good relationship and you know your client. When it goes down, you automatically call him and you let him know. And then so the attorney is already creating, whatever he needs to create to fight and build a case against this person. And on top of that, not only did they have a good attorney, they have a good PR person to already be ready to dismantle and smear the person that's coming at them. So it's
Yeah, I think that because they said that like of course they were going through the attorneys because Diddy's attorney was the one that told him, that they're probably they're talking about indicting you. You're probably going to be indicted. You probably need to come to California and see what they're going to do. They haven't done it yet. All those things. So it all streams through their legal team when they're that powerful, right? When they have that kind of money. Yeah. So let's go on. Let's talk about so that was March. No, that was June. Did we do May? Yeah, that was June. So July. July is when on July the 20th we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner. He was drowned on vacation in the water with his daughter, and the waves were just too much. And it's the story, I believe, is that he went back in to get his daughter, but then there was another story. I ultimately they were unable to save him, and we lost a really good, solid man. I believe
yeah,
and that very um, on July the 2nd. Um, the verdict was read for Diddy, and we found that the most the charges that would give him the most time up to life were dropped, RICO charge, whatever, and he got the other two 41 for oxygen. Oh, extract. Um, so he got those, and he got 50 months, and people still argue that that's probably too much time. This is what his whole appeal is about, is because they're saying that the judge, they was sentenced according to those major charges that he beat, and that's why he got the 50 months or whatever. So he does have an appeal. On this day, also in July, CNN cut ties with Shannon Sharp, um, because he had that lawsuit, so we knew that some things were going to happen with him. So CNN cut ties with Shannon Sharp on July the 16th. And also, Maureen Comey was fired, who was lead prosecutor on the Diddy trial, and fired for whatever reasons. Is it because she lost the case? We don't know, but they were filing. She was filing a complaint against them. I also want to go back to January, where when Donald Trump was taken into office. I'm sorry to jump really quick because we got a lot to go over. Nelly, Snoop Dogg, Soldier Boy performed at Donald Trump's inaugural ball, and they got back. They got backlash, lost followers, everything else, but they performed at the inaugural, and people did not like that.
They got to check. I mean, it's
Yep, they
we
got
live
checked.
in a time that, I mean, there was a time when black people had, this high morals, high morals, and high integrity, and they could not be bought, right? And unfortunately, a lot of those people died penniless, and people had to pay for their funerals and stuff like that. This time, I think this time people are like, hey, I know who I am. I know who I serve as God. And if he's offering this money, I'm going to take this money, right? Now, does it make them less if, say, Trump pays them $1 million, right? Because, like, if you want me to be a part of this, then you're going to pay. I'm not, you're not going to give me cheap. You're going to have to pay me $1 million. And so they take his money, and then they take that $1 million and go put it into their communities. They don't use it to go buy Benzes and cars and their own. Just they don't keep it for themselves. They share it with the community. Does that make it less?
But even if they didn't do that, here's the thing you said. I think you touched on it. My job pays me a check, right?
Yeah.
People don't like the work I do. This is just an example. They don't like the work I do. They don't like what it stands for. Do I not go work there because people don't like it? These people are performers, they're entertainers, and when asked to lock in a job, then they take it. But here was the controversy behind it. It's Nelly, like it's Snoop Dogg. They can afford to say no to things. Why
They
are you going?
can't. No, but can they? Like, I mean, I know what it looks like visually.
How can you say that they can? Maybe they needed that money, right? You
Exactly.
Soldier Boy, like he probably needed that money they paid him. He was like, it was about Soldier Boy came out and talked about it. It was about I got paid. I'm going to do my job. Nelly said, I performed. So I mean, people are always going to have. It's always going to be two sides, right? It's always going to
Yeah.
be agree with it, and there's going to be people that don't agree with it. But they really got they started losing followers on that when they did that. So
And it's funny because a lot of times those same people, especially with social media, what's that saying? The dog that barked the loudest. You know what I mean? It's these same people that talk all this noise and I'm following or whatever, and then 2 months later, you'll see them posting a picture that they took because they saw him in the street, or they approach him in the street and they don't say anything to him. They just like, oh my God, there goes Snoop Dogg. Let me go get a picture. But literally on your Instagram or whatever, you just said, don't support this dude because he did this and he did that. It's what is that? I love that Chris Rock came up. Was it selective anger?
oh
Or
yeah.
yeah. So it's like I get it. There's they have jobs to do. They have families to support, and sometimes you can take something that's meant for evil and God to turn around and use it for good.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. Hey, Bad Bunny. She said that all money ain't good money, which we can
I,
agree to that.
I agree with that because all the glitters ain't gold, and I do like personally for me, I wouldn't do it. Right?
Yeah,
Because I have a different level of integrity and a different level of morality. But I'm not going to knock somebody else for doing it. I guess that's probably the best way to say it because that's between you, your God, and your followers and your family.
yeah.
So,
Like you have the right to choose to do what you want to do,
yeah.
but what? am I going to follow my morals and my values and what I really stand for and believe in? Or am I just going to go take a check because I can get this check and just throw all of that all the morals and values are out the window until after I do this. And then I'll go back and have my morals and values intact. Right.
Yeah.
So, right, Bad Bunny, all money is not good money. Like
Yeah.
sometimes walk away. Just like this isn't a good example. Angela Martinez had an interview, and I think I did a short about it, but she had an interview with Charlemagne, and one of the questions was, "Are you going to sit down? Are you thinking about sitting down and having an interview with Sean Combs, with P Diddy, with Puff?" And she was like, "You know what? I know that would be a huge deal for me to do that." She said, "But I've been saying no to huge deals because it's what benefits other people, what benefits me, what is the benefit in me doing that, what is the benefit in, are we sparking up something negative?" Like she said she would have to look at every angle of that thing. So today she couldn't say that she would sit down and talk to Puff. So right, it's like I'm not, I know she's saying I know I can make a bag doing this, right? This would be a good look for me. But is it worth it? Is it worth me? Is it benefit me? All those things. Or do I just walk away and say no?
Exactly, because
So,
he didn't get everybody that he wanted. I guarantee you, a lot of people turned him down. But we're not going to hear about the people that turned him down. We're going to hear about the people that that accepted it. And if you look at somebody like Chrisette Michelle, who has a beautiful voice, who seems to be a nice person, I've not ever met her. They destroyed that young woman when she went and performed at his inauguration one year. She
yeah,
was using the voice that she was given to, and then she got paid for it. And then oftentimes too, people sometimes can see one side of the story and they don't see the other side, or they see one side of the picture and they don't see that there's a bigger picture, because the same person that could be hated today could be the same person that turn around and save everybody tomorrow, because you didn't see everything that took place. A lot of times when you're doing something, there's levels. There's A, there's B, there's C, there's D, there's E. But if you only see an A, and then you hating on it, hating on A, hating on B, hating on C, hating on D, and then you start seeing something, wait a minute, E, F, G, and then the whole process, and then the process benefits, works out for everybody's good. Then you have to sit back and look and say, man, I was a person that was hating on this person from going from this level to that level, because I could only see what I could see. Now, I hate to get biblical, but there's a scripture that says you have to lean out on your own understanding. And
yeah,
sometimes what you see and what you understand is not what God sees and what God understands.
yeah,
So
true.
that's why
And
from now I don't look.
yeah. Yeah, so I agree. And so at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to choice. Whatever you choose to do, that's on you. And then whatever consequences come with that, good or bad, that's on you. Right. And so, but I don't want to forget that Irv Gotti also passed away in February, on February the 5th at age 54, young age. And So I didn't want to forget to mention that since we went all the way past February. DJ Funk passed March the 5th. Didn't want to forget that. Um,
There's a lot of people that
May 20,
2025.
Trump
There's a lot
pardoned.
of people that left 2025.
Donald Trump pardoned NBA YoungBoy on May the 28th. And in April the 21st, we skipped this. Shannon Sharp was named as a defendant in the civil lawsuit on a fans only. Um, and she was a Jane Doe at first, I think. Gabrielle, whatever her last name, but in July they settled.
Yeah,
So
for a massive amount of money. Like, there's no way that girl should got that amount of money.
massive. But I mean, if you're okay, yeah, I don't want to open that can of worms. So then in August the 20th, we're gonna jump back. We'll jump back over to August. Cardi B and the Imani Ellison trial happened. This is where we was talking about earlier. I commended Cardi B for standing on what she felt was right when she knew she didn't do what she was being accused of, and she went all the to trial with it because she was like, "I'm not giving you my money. Like I worked
Yeah.
too hard. I know that I did not do that." The whole entire trial, Imani, just her story just didn't add right. And then but Cardi and her team came with some viable witnesses
Yeah.
that tell the story, how it happened, where the other side wasn't able to do that. And
And even if Cardi did the stuff that she said she did,
hold on, however. They even went to the point, all the way to the point of saying that whatever happened to her happened by a right-handed person. Well, we all know Cardi B is left-handed, so it was like she should have gone and fought for it, and she did what she did, and she won. She won. She won the fight. Go ahead, Arthur.
Listen, even if she did everything even if Cardi did everything that woman says she did, here's the thing: you should not have been in her space. That was not you were not even supposed to be around her or near her. Period. So the fact that's why I said either way it go, even if Cardi had a hitter, because Cardi could be ambidextrous, she could be right and left-handed for all we know. But even if she did that, even if she did, it would not have happened had that woman not violated her space. And I think often
started following her. What are you following her for?
exactly, it's like people campaign for ass whoopers and then they get mad when they win. Like I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like you start what's that saying from old school? Don't start none, it won't be none. Yeah. So and I think sometimes people feel so comfortable with people, or because they bought an album or because they supported them, that they owe them their time. They owe them, something. Nobody owes you anything.
Yeah.
It's nice if they do, and if they don't, just don't support them no more if that's what you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
And then further into in August, Little Nas was arrested for walking down the street. He was having a mental challenge and didn't really have any clothes on, but he had his boots on, and he ended up going to jail.
I'm sorry, that's not funny.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But hey, it's true. But anyway, ended up going to jail and then got out the next day, but they ultimately have gotten him placed in an inpatient. He's saying he's going to come back stronger and better, whatever, but he's getting the help that he needs. And I'm glad for that. So we'll ultimately see what his sentence will be, if anything. But I'm glad he's getting the help that he needs because he was having a mental breakdown. Listen, when you're on top of the world, on top like overnight success, and you making millions and millions of dollars now, right? Things change for you drastically. And then when it kind of simmers down and that's not coming no more, that's mentally drained. Like that can cause you to have a mental breakdown. And Nas wasn't really, nobody was checking for Nas lately, in August.
Well, I mean, when you start, creating videos where you're twerking on the devil and selling 666, I mean, you know what I'm saying? He been gone. But sometimes when you get into that world and that headspace, can't nobody tell you nothing. I mean, they should have been checking on him when he started doing that. But no, it was popular. It kept him in the blogs. It kept him, fame is the drug. Like people often forget, fame is a drug. Just like cocaine, crack, all that stuff is a drug too. And a lot of times when people get that taste, they don't ever want to let it go. They want to continue to get it and get it and get it. And even this situation that happened with him, that gave him a rush, because even though he was in the news, it wasn't for something good, but he still was in the news. A lot of these celebrities, they just want to be in the news if that's the way they started. They don't have to really do anything positive, but they're in the news because they're chasing that high. They're tracing that drug, and to get biblical again, if you keep riding with the devil, eventually he's gonna want to drive. So
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm just glad that he's getting the help that he needs. September. Let's move on. Of course, we talked about Celeste and David. That's when her remains were found in the Tesla on September the 8th in the tow yard in the car. So we talked about that. We don't have to keep beating that over the head, but we know because we know what happened. But also in September, Cardi releases her album. Am I the Drama? Album. And this was she had success through the roof. I think Nicki Minaj got in her feelings about that and was like, I still sold more records on day one or whatever. But at the end of the day, Cardi B had it going on. It still has it going on. Like right now, her music is doing really well. It took Cardi a while to get us an album. It took her a long time to get her album, but it was way overdue. And she killed it. Like she killed the game. So
I mean,
that
people like Cardi because of her personality, and
her personality.
yeah, because look at Rihanna. Yeah, I've been waiting on the album from Rihanna. Rihanna, like, baby, I got kids. I'm happy. I'm married. I got a hairline. Y'all get an album if I decide you get an album. I don't owe you an album. But
Going
when
back,
you get it, you're going to appreciate it.
going back to Cardi B, like really, this is really the truth. It was about her personality. Because if you go back and listen to Red Bottoms, these is Red Bottoms. I make man money moves. That song, that she was not a good rapper at that point. She's really good right now. She's really good, but they loved her personality, so they made it work for her. She was going to be ultimately a star because of her personality. It was going, but that initial song, but we thought it was fire because it was Cardi B. She funny, she got this personality, whatever.
And
But
she's sweet. I met her years ago when she came down to Houston, and and she does a lot of stuff for the homeless behind the scenes that people don't know. She do, and she won't let people film it. She won't let them have no cameras around it. But she be out there, you know what I'm saying? She does a lot of stuff that they don't know about that helps people. You know what I'm saying? When your cup runneth over, you're supposed to give the part that runs over to the people to help the people, and she does that. And I
yeah,
think that's that light that people see in her. And people like Nicki Minaj, come on, I've not ever, and I'm not saying she hasn't, but I've not ever heard of known anybody say that she's done anything for anybody else. I've heard of her trying to tear other people down and trying to stop money from them. I don't know if it's true or not. It's allegedly. But
uh-huh.
I feel like your light and your energy, it speaks volumes, and people just don't like to see other people do well.
Cardi B was in a hotel and she was checking out, and the woman that worked the desk had brought her little girl, and Cardi saw the little girl, and the woman thought she was gonna get in trouble because she didn't have nobody to keep her baby. Cardi B talked to the little girl and left and came back and brought her snacks,
Yeah.
gave her and everything because she was like, oh no, she knows the struggle, right? She used to have to go to work with her mom, so I think she does a lot.
Yeah, she
Um,
loves kids. That's what we was, and we walked into a room. There was like 200 people in the room, and it was only two little girls that was with us. And she was in the middle of an interview, and she stopped the middle of the interview when she saw the little girls, and she got gosh, she was just, and the little girls, they were just so happy. They just like they couldn't believe it. She walked over. She's like, "Can I hug you?" And it was just her and the kids from that moment.
yeah.
So that tells you the type of person she is.
Yeah. And then the big thing again was Charlie Kirk's unaliving on September the 10th. He was unalived. And there you have it on that.
Yeah. I mean, his wife is something else, but or his widower is something else, but
Well,
we ain't going into that.
had Minaj on the bandwagon, so I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So Meg the Stallion and Milagro Graham's trial happened in October. Meg ultimately got a big dub. She won the trial. She won the whole thing, except for they have now determined that Milagro Graham is new media, so that charge was dropped, I believe. Um, so that was like gonna that subtracted from the amount of money that she had to pay up. She said, which Milagro said, which she's thankful for. She didn't have millions to have to pay. And so that really helped to get be noticed as new media so that they could subtract from that amount, that the ultimate amount that she had to pay. October the 3rd, 2025 was when Puff was sentenced to 50 months. Um, and we can talk all about that. October the 4th is when Kata went missing in New Jersey. She went missing, and on October the 15th, her alleged unaliver went to jail. And then on October the 18th is when Kata's body was found behind an abandoned school. Um, and that investigation is still ongoing. So I hope that we can get justice for Kata as well. November. Oh wait, November the 17th is when their trial started. Milagro. Okay. And then also in November, Max B was released from prison. So let's get into December. We are in December. December the 2nd, 50 releases the documentary. there has yeah, controversy of 50 is catching it for putting this docu-series out. Like he's catching it from every angle, but he's here for it. 50's here for it.
Yeah, he loves it. I mean, it is. I mean, he exposed what a lot of people have wanted to, and they just didn't have the voice, they didn't have the money, and they didn't have the power, and and 50 does, and it shows. One, be careful how you treat people, because the person that you step on today could be connected to the feet of the person whose ass you got to kiss tomorrow. So I mean, if you think about it, like Puffy said something to 50, what, 20 years ago. That's petty.
Yeah. So he got he's catching it. But this is the deal. 50 said he got 400 more hours worth. I might be making that number up, but he got a lot more footage. And he was on an interview, as we all know, and he said that he's going to release it, and he might release it on YouTube. I don't know, but he has a lot more footage that he's holding on to, and we're just sitting waiting back. We're just sitting back waiting to see when, where, and how we can see it. When you going to where you gonna release it so we can go get that. We want that.
Because it's interesting, like you said, this is also the month that the lawyers went back and refiled, like they filed an appeal or they filed something. Now,
Yeah, next, yeah. So
two things for me. You got Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, like that fight there, like that was a fight heard around the world. Like everybody is so
yeah.
tired of that Jake Paul dude, and Anthony was the one who finally did what every fighter should have done. Now that's a man of integrity, because he could have easily took the money to take a fall. He could like other fighters before him, right? He did. He went in. This is a fight. If I'm a win, I'm a win. If I'm a lose, I'm a lose. And he did what was needed to do. That's somebody that you couldn't pay off. Now allegedly, I don't know that there was this contract. That Paul has these contracts with these fighters that they can't knock him out. Which you can't have a no knockout fight in a real fight. I think you can have it in an exhibition fight, right? If it's an exhibition fight, you can put that clause in, no knockout. But if it's supposed to be a real fight, a real title fight, you cannot have that clause in your contract. And allegedly, that was, Jake Paul supposed to be suing him because.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he knocked him out and whatever. And the Boxing Federation came out and said, no, that's a lie, because there's no way you can have a no knockout in a real fight. That would just destroy the thread of their whole agency throughout the years. There's another thing that they're saying, because a lot of people don't like him, and especially if they're like, he's not a boxer. He pays boxers to get in the ring with him and lose. So like, he doesn't earn his fights. This allegedly. I don't know. I'm not a boxer. It is what it is. Last person I watched in a fight was Mike Tyson. I like heavyweight fighters that have something of substance. I know what's the other one, Floyd Mayweather. He was like a big deal, but he was super weight, lightweight. Nobody cared about the boxers. At least I didn't. Yeah. But me, they like fights or whatever.
Yeah.
So him, allegedly, his fighting career is over, because that's where the lawsuit's supposed to come in, because he ended his boxing career, because the Boxing Federation has these strict rules about boxers and their health, and the way that his jaw was broken, that, one, he's out there's like, he's going to be out of fighting for at least the next year, because it's going to take a year to do rehab and, all that stuff or whatever. But allegedly the Boxing Federation is like, no, the way that injury is, they could not give approval. They would not be able to get approval on him to be able to fight again.
Wow.
Because of that injury. Yeah. Which could ultimately end his career, right? Which was not really a real career anyway. It was, a fall career to begin with.
For that. But I wanted to go back to Diddy real quick. I saw where Harlem posted. She said, we were talking about when 50 was going to release the footage, because we know that he has mentioned it, right? Well, probably is going to wait, because Christian Justin just posted their documentary for 2026. Did not see that. How did I miss that, Harlem? I
Who
got
had a documentary? Who? Justin got a documentary too?
Christian Combs and Justin Combs just posted their documentary for. Oh, maybe I did see that for 2026. That so I guess they have a documentary coming out.
Well, yeah, remember that's where a lot of the footage came from because Diddy was creating this documentary. He was recording,
Yeah,
you
but I'm
know.
wondering what Christian and Justin got going on though. So,
It's gonna be something that's gonna show a different side of their dad. Because remember, that's the
of
whole
course,
point
yeah.
of Diddy having that, he was creating this documentary to put out because he was trying to get tried in a court of public opinion before he got tried in a court of law.
Right. That's why I didn't see it. She said it was just posted. Duh. Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
um,
So that's all it's gonna be. It's gonna be the doc because, like I said, he's filing an appeal now. And so here's something else. Have you watched the latest Dave Chappelle documentary?
no, but I heard about it.
Unstoppable. That came out the same day as the fight. It is, to
Unstoppable.
me, it's some of Dave's best work. And it's funny because we talked about integrity, we talked about people taking money because he did, and he talks about it in his stand up that he did. He did jokes in Saudi Arabia, and they paid him a lot of money, but people was mad that he went over there and performed. He says, I can say what I want to say in Saudi Arabia. He says he can say more stuff in Saudi Arabia and get away with it than he can in the United States. He said, I don't even wait for, and yeah, he says, I don't even wait for Netflix to call me no more. I was sitting by the phone waiting for Saudi Arabia to call. Like that was,
I can see that.
yeah, that was literally his joke. And but the interesting thing about it was at the end of the documentary. That's why I say, is he retiring? So if you watch it all the way through to the
Okay.
end. I said, is he retiring? Because
Well, what is it on? What station? What network is it?
Netflix, Netflix on all the Dave Chappelle stuff. Yes, I was like, is he? Because the way it's set up, but there was something that he said in the documentary, which a lot of people are mad because they said because he's saying this, he must be supporting Diddy. And he said he didn't support Diddy. He said, but do you remember when he got attacked years ago?
Yep.
He said it was Diddy who tackled the dude.
Yep, I heard that.
Which I find interesting. It's funny how Diddy's all in a lot of certain places to help. You know what I mean? Like now we know a lot of stuff that he's done is manufactured. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gave the dude the money to get in there just so he get next day trip. That's just me. Allegedly, that's not true. I just made that up. But there was a law that was created about black people and black people and white people dating. It was this boxer, Jack Johnson, whatever. I'm just paraphrasing that because Jack Johnson had a white woman and he was winning all these fights, this white girlfriend would go with him to the fights. So a congressman got together, put a law together that said that it was illegal for a man to take a woman across states for debauchery, right? And so debauchery meant because she was with a black man.
Right.
So he said in the documentary that is the same law that they use to prosecute Diddy. So the lawyers went back literally the following day, and that's when they filed that
appeal. Yeah.
The appeal, and they're not saying that law specific, but they're touching on that law. It's just that's why a lot of people are mad, allegedly are mad at Chappelle because they're like, oh, you supporting him or whatever, and he's like, no, I'm not supporting you. He says I'm just stating facts. Like this is facts. This is not something that he made up. This is like legal. There's a lot of laws on the books that shouldn't be on the books that are on the books. I mean,
yeah.
So it's interesting. So if you watch it, definitely.
Yeah, I'll go take it. I'll watch it. But yeah, so I'm gonna be definitely looking forward to Christian and Justin's documentary, whatever they have going on in 2026 to see, what they got to say. Like what you gonna show us, what you gonna tell us.
Yeah, you tell me about it.
So anyway, moving on, and they'll show him and his dad as being a good father and father figure and doing the good stuff. They'll be good. It'll be all the good things, right?
Mhm.
Also in December, now this is Harlem's really good friend. So Clarissa Shields was inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame class of 2025. So I am really excited for Clarissa. She is doing her thing. She has a lot of people that don't do her. They do not like Clarissa for whatever reason. I think it's her mouth. I think it's the way
Yeah.
herself. All she has to do is like, listen, girl, yeah, you got two Olympic gold medal, all that stuff, but just be a woman at all times and you don't have to do that act
Yeah.
a lot of times. And I like Papoose is working on that because when her and Papoose was at the Breakfast Club, like she started in on stuff she shouldn't. I feel like she shouldn't. Clarissa the Clown, Harlem came
Yeah.
there,
She's not the most
but
educated woman.
but
She's not
girl,
educated.
not. And so you're right. She was They was at the Breakfast Club and she started talking about Papoose and Remy's business, right? Well, if she
Mhm.
started getting really into it, Papoose was like, cut her off and start talking about something else. Like, I think Papoose is like grooming her in the fact that there's certain things you talk about, there's certain things you just don't talk about, is what I think. But Harlem says if you don't follow women's boxing, she was not known. If you didn't follow women's boxing, she was not known until she dated a married man. Oh wow.
Was Papoose the married man?
No, it must have been before Papoose, because she wasn't when she. It says she wasn't known until she dated a married man, so she was boxing prior to that.
She's not very, and she doesn't. She clearly she's not very intelligent. She's, you know, she, I'm not gonna say she's uneducated because she could be educated. She just doesn't know how to speak or get that out. But she does get hit in a lot of hit. Get hit in the head a lot. So that's
So you watch
it's racist.
Papoose? Oh,
She said no, no Papoose.
sorry. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. When did I start knowing of Clarissa?
When she started messing with Papoose.
I think you're right.
But here's the thing, Papoose he's just that man. We would, well, not to get off the subject, but when you talk about a man who knows how to lead and a woman could trust him, that's the type of man that I feel like Papoose is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he was with Remy. Like he is the reason we know Remy Ma because he wrote her lyrics. He did this. He groomed her, but like as a man, he did his job as a man and uplifted a woman and took care of the woman and brought her to the front while he stayed in the back. And then Remy had that whole thing. She went to jail and then she came back and it just sometimes I don't know. I'm not going to speak on their relationship specifically because I don't know any details or whatever, but you know, he just strikes me as a good man and he
Yeah,
moved on
too.
and then now he's with her and just like you said, she in the interview, he gonna have to work on her, telling her like, look, me and my baby mama, that ain't none of your business. Like you don't need to be speaking on that.
It's how you
And
yourself, like on red carpets and when you're in on interviews at the break, like there's certain, like you just don't do some of the stuff that she does. She says no, I know Remy from being with Terror Squad, Fat Joe. Yeah, that's why I was saying no, it wasn't Papoose that I know Remy. It was
no,
way.
yeah, but I'm saying he wrote her lyrics and stuff. Like I'm not saying that that we know her because of him. I'm just saying that I know that he's the person that wrote her music that helped her get to where she is as far as musically. Now, whatever they did, yeah, because I didn't know who Papoose was for the longest, you know what I mean? But I knew of his writing skills.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So anyway, yeah, but congratulations, Clarissa, for being inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame.
but
Congrats.
how many other people are in there?
Getting ready to her next boxing match is in February. She's gonna go knock somebody out. She got $8 million deal.
To
So
fight who?
I don't know. I forget. Let me see. I can tell you in just a second. But she's doing her thing. Like she is making her mark. But I think she just the way she handles herself. I think that's just me. Let me
But
see.
who's she fighting? I mean, we everybody knew who Layla Ali was because of her daddy, but then Layla Ali got in that ring and started knocking people out. So like, you know, she became her own thing. Like, yeah, she the daughter of Ali, but Layla Ali is Layla Ali. Who is Clarissa fighting? Like, what fights could she possibly that would, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would make her.
She is going to be fighting, let's see, in February 2025. Oh, excuse me, 26.
Who is Duval?
Clarissa Shield is fighting Francon Cruz Dejron in a highly anticipated rematch for the undisputed heavyweight title on Sunday, February the 22nd at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Whoever that woman is, I don't know.
See what I'm saying? Like, she's. But then again, who follows women boxing? Like I said, the last woman boxer people followed was Lala, and I think didn't she said she wanted to fight her, and then they were supposed to fight, and then something happened, or wasn't it something like that?
Here, Harlem said, "Faces, my dad will be inducted in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He is in New York and New Jersey already." Oh my gosh, Harlem!
Congratulations!
I never know that. Light Switch. Hey, Light Switches. The 40 plus years in the industry. Let's see how her career goes. Light Switches. What is Light Switches saying? What do you mean by Jaguars? Welcome here. Okay. So dang, Harlem, good job. I mean, congratulations, your dad. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, glad to hear that. And then let's move on.
Want to give a shout out to her dad?
Huh?
We'll give a shout out to her dad. Who is her father?
I don't know. Maybe she'll post it. But shout out
Is
to
he a fighter or a boxer?
boxer. I think she said the boxing Hall of Fame.
But that could be a coach. That could be a spar. That could be.
That's good. Anyway, Diddy filed his legal appeal. This appeal is saying that this is the one he said that the lawyer, he needs to be released immediately. The judge played like he was a 13th juror, and he needs to be released. Sean Combs, Justin Combs have just been named. My dad passed in May 20th. In May 20, he was a cutman trainer. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I figure, like, I know you're just not just boxers, it's the whole team.
Sorry to hear. Good to know. Good to know. That's he did start out as a boxer though, she said.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that is. It'll be something nice for
something to talk about, yes, for sure. That's something to brag about. Diddy filed, like I said, he filed the appeal, and then just recently, like yesterday, today, whatever, Justin Combs was officially served for a gang R along with his dad named in this lawsuit, stating that this young girl, Tyreek, forget her last name, she was talking to Justin. Justin said, "Come out to California. You will give you a job at Revolt." Talked her into it. She got out here only to be R worded by allegedly by Justin, Sean Combs, and two other masked men. So that he has officially served on that. So we'll hear more about that as it unravels.
Because there was somebody who said, here you have this man, talking about Diddy, has all these sons, and he didn't raise them to take over the company. He raised them to be like him. You know what I'm saying? Do you, like, even in his situation now, not one of his sons is the head of any of his companies because they were not raised to think like he did and to do what he did. Like, it was, I think someone said even one of his songs, didn't one of his songs try to be a rapper, or something, and it just wasn't nobody feeling it, wasn't nobody buying it. Like, I didn't know he was trying to be a rapper. Yeah. So here you have sons, men who have legacies want to have sons. They don't even have sons, but you have sons and you raise them all to do what you do and not to run your company, which is why he's sitting locked up and none of his sons are at the head of his company. None of his companies.
Oh, and I thought one was, or it was left in his name or something. I don't know, but anyway.
Well, it could be in his name. That's just for legal purposes. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? But who's running it? So
he
like,
was
who is running the companies that he has left?
he was actually working at the company, and the plan was when Diddy moved on, his son, whichever, I think it was Justin, was going to move in and take over the company.
But then now he got this stuff on him, so now he can't do nothing. But you got 3 sons.
I don't know if it was Justin or not, but I just feel like it was. I feel like it was. I'm not sure.
Or 2.5 sons, according to some of these rumors.
Yeah, and then and then yeah. So anyway, we'll continue to hear more about that. Also, guys, Lion King child star Imani Dia Smith was unalived by her boyfriend via a shank. And so Puff did mafia behavior. He hired a female for his sons when they turned 16. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, but now you have this whole situation. And then and even talk about some of the stuff in the documentary, I didn't understand. Like, he always went after the woman of everybody he was coming for. Did you notice that? Like, I thought that was the weirdest thing. Like,
Took Kim from Al B. Sure,
yeah,
Misa from Tupac. Who was?
took
I mean,
took Biggie from Lil Kim. You know what I mean? He put faith in that to keep her from being with Lil Kim, because he knew the influence that Biggie had on Kim, and he knew Biggie was about to leave. And guess who? And guess who would have followed him? Kim would have followed Biggie, right? And they don't even talk. They don't even talk about that in the documentary. How when Kim went to jail for Puff, behind Puff, and he didn't even go to her, visit her one time. Like, how do you have that much of a commitment? And then, not to mention the other girl from Dirty Money, he had a billionaire telling her she needed $5,000. He told her he didn't have it.
Yep. Yep.
Like, that was crazy. And then not only when he told, when he got the same energy. Oh, you don't got it? All right, well, I don't have nothing you need. But she didn't. She still stood there and did that after this man told her that was the blind. That was crazy to me. And then you remember we was on Clubhouse, that dude, Lil Rod, remember he used to come to Clubhouse talking about the stuff about Diddy, remember?
Rod did?
Yes, he was coming to Clubhouse all the time. Yes, and the other guy, I ain't gonna say his name on here, but he know who he is. He used to be like, oh, he ain't talking about nothing. He story, he not telling the truth or whatever. And then here he is in the middle of the documentary telling his truth.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Lil Rob was in a Clubhouse all the time, and nobody listened. Nobody believed him. And then next thing we know,
here we are. Yep. That's crazy. So anyway, this Diddy, Justin, all that stuff is gonna continue to happen. We're gonna continue to have something to talk about when it comes to them. I wanted to mention, in case we didn't hear, Little King, the Lion King's child star Imani Smith was murdered, was unalived by her boyfriend via a knife, and so that's an investigation ongoing, but was unalived. Then
was she in the play or the movie?
child star in the Lion King, so it must have been whatever when she was a kid. I don't know. I didn't. I just saw the briefing of that, so I just wanted to mention that because I am going to look into it. Not sure. And then we've been on here a minute, so I'm going to kind of speed up the last parts of what I have. Mario Rodriguez filed suit against Tyler Perry. This is the other one that filed a suit against Tyler Perry for actual battery, and for $77 million. This just came out.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna be watching that. It just hit. And then Rob and Michelle Reiner were unalived by their son Nick. And there's a lot of stuff coming out about him. He's been diagnosed with schizophrenia. He could possibly beat the case because of it and all this stuff. But anyway, at the end of the day, the parents were unalived, and just it's just a tragedy. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's.
tragedy, and that was on
Was he the oldest son or the youngest son? I couldn't remember.
prior to Christmas, and they were gonna have a get together that next day. The son lived on the compound with them, but it's sad, and they shouldn't have been unalived in that way. Period. They didn't deserve it, no matter what. But they were trying to give him help, and this is what we're hearing. Sources are telling. So, I mean, that was a tragedy. So, anyway, for your daughter, they call her daughter, and your daughter, you walk up to see your dad laying on that floor. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
They're saying that he slit their necks and was stabbed several times. So that's what I have, you guys, for tonight. I think he was a middle child.
Okay.
Oh, you was
Cause
asking.
yeah, because I didn't know if it because allegedly there's some stuff if he's the oldest child, but
Oh no,
you know,
yeah, and daughter was the youngest. I think he's the middle. Yeah. So
okay.
there were other kids too outside of that marriage that he had
Yeah.
with Penny.
Oh,
Yeah, Penny, he was married before her.
but was this his son from his current marriage or his previous marriage?
With his current marriage. That's his mom and dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, man, it's a lot. We could go on and talk about everything in 2025 because we missed it's so much we didn't even get to talk about. But we've been
Yeah,
here.
'cause I did want to mention about Houston. Like, I just want to put it out there that they've pulled another body out of the bayous. Last week, they pulled three bodies out of the Houston bayou, which brings a total up for this year to 31,
Yeah.
and the total from 2017 to 200. But our current mayor is saying that it's not a serial killer. Just want to put that out there.
Then what is it?
Exactly. I guess only he knows. Which I also like to add that he is the only mayor in history. Well, I don't know about history, but I know in Texas history to lose his party's endorsement. The first sitting mayor in 50 years to lose his party's endorsement. He had a Democratic endorsement, people, but he's been acting like a Republican. A lot of them they run as Democrats, but they're actually Republicans. He lost his endorsement, which Houston mayors is bipartisan. Like you don't need you don't need
Yeah.
the endorsement. I mean, you need the endorsements, but you don't have to run as a political. You don't have to run as a Democrat or Republican. You can run as anything as a mayor, but it just helps when you have that support. So he's lost all that support, which means no funding, none of that. And Houston is, I think, number one or number three in ICE arrest, which he
Whoa.
also said this year that the HPD was not helping ICE. Come to find out, they are. But the way he said it is that they're only doing the what do you call that? The warrants. Like if there's an active warrant, that's the only time that they involve ICE. But so I just want to put that out there as
That's
we go into
yeah.
2026, and also my mentors, Mayor Sylvester Turner, former Mayor Sylvester Turner, and Congressman Sylvester Turner. We lost him this year, I think in March, who was he not only was for Houston, but in the state of Texas as a whole, and as a lawyer, as a congressman, as a father, as a grandfather. He was an amazing person. Helped change my life and many like those. So I just want to put that out there. So
Yeah. Well, shout out. Yeah. Well, thank you, Hiawatha, for being our guest again at Black Link Mag Media. It's always a pleasure to have you. It's always fun working with you and talking about these topics that I love to get into. So again, thank you. I hope you have a happy new year.
you
Um,
too.
and to everybody that came, everybody in the chat, everybody that stopped in and left and came and stayed, whatever. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all have a blessed week. Of course, we'll be back, but I hope your new year is all that you wish for it to be. Again, we're gonna go for now, you guys. We'll be back tomorrow night on our live. Maybe talking a little bit more about other things that happened in 2025, all the way through the end of the year. I don't know. I know that we're gonna have the sports edition or segment with Montana. We're just working on it he's got some good intros, outros. He's working on it. So that is going to happen as well. Thank y'all so much. God bless y'all. And we'll see y'all here tomorrow. Hi, Watha. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
All right. Well, of course, you'll be back, right?
Yes, I will. And
Okay.
like the next time I come though, I want us all to be like a group so we can have some chat. We get, we get lit when we all together.
Well, it's just
Don't nobody want to hear me.
trying to build up so that we can go to StreamYard so people know that somehow that app wasn't working well for us. So we'll get that working. But anyway, come back. We'll have you back, and you guys, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right. Bye. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.